Absolutely. Well, I am a tantric shaman, right? So I do the sensuality thing. In addition to that, I do the energy thing, meaning I help you move the energy in your body. All the energy you feel is yours. I'm just giving it a boost, right? So I help work with Kundalini, opening up blockages in the energy body, all of that good stuff. What I also do is deal with the spirit realm, right?
Hmm.
I'm an intermediary for people. I channel messages for them, right? I channel energy for them, like Nikki saw. So the energy that you might feel is not necessarily mine, but it's what I'm channeling down from the universe that is appropriate for that time. You know,
Hmm.
um, I practice Grand Trine Tantra, and the whole basis of that really is to turn you back to your original DNA blueprint. Okay,
Hmm.
so in that case, you have like a healing experience, a pleasure experience, and an enlightenment experience, and eventually all three as your blockage is removed, right? So we have reflexology zones, right? Your hands, your head, your feet, right? But your genitals is your biggest reflexology map, right? So anything that's in the physical body is in your other bodies as well. So
Hmm.
you get to the emotions of your liver, the emotions of your heart, the emotions of your brain, the emotions of your arm when you broke it when you were 7, all of that, and all of that can be cleared out through tantric energetic work. Energetic work, period. But since I'm sorry.
No, 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 please come on. It's all good.
Since
I'm smoking my cigar. We relax up in here. You don't know uptight shows and shit. You if you want to chop some food, you can chop food too. We good.
you know, but yeah. So in that process, people have deep healings, right? Um, we also are trying to make sure that your puberty came online properly. So a lot of people don't talk about that.
That you what? That you
Puberty,
what?
your puberty fully came online. So
Are you
not
serious? And
yeah,
so as a grown adult, your puberty might have not.
yeah, right.
No,
So
hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. You just right there and there. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about this, please.
okay,
This threw me
so
off.
so developing as a person is more than just a physical thing, And in the physical thing, there's chemicals, there's electrical things, there's hormonal things, all of these, right? So what we
Mhm.
found is that a lot of people are maybe halfway through puberty, even
Mhm.
though their growth has been stunted emotionally, mentally, physically, hormonally, whatever else. Um, so when you there's an emotional component to that as well, right? So reason why puberty stopped oftentimes is due to an emotional factor. So let's say you were traumatized at the age of 4, right? We all know that the age of 4 is still in your psyche, but people don't think about how it affects your physical and your energetic body, right? So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so I've worked on people for like a series of sessions, maybe 3 to 5 sessions, and their penis has gotten longer, right? Because the energetic blueprint went back more to its original birth.
Nikki, why you gotta be like that? You talking real shit here, man.
I'm one of people. I'm trying to get people what they
I
want out of me.
mean, how long though? Because was it already long, or was it like super small and got
No,
a little big? I mean, what's the
I mean
question? I'm
it's not.
curious. Sorry, we ain't about that kind of cheap show, but I mean,
No,
people want to know.
people want to know. I'm here for the people, right? So I'm not gonna say it grew like 4 or 5 inches, but it's grown like at least a half inch, quarter of an inch. Because I remember I worked on one guy, and he was only what 27, and we got up from the table. He looked down and was like, and like did his whole step back and was just
Yeah, but
shocked.
hold on. But how is that? How does that come about? It comes by releasing the blockages in the body.
Yes, yes. And in addition to that, you're activating those parts of you that didn't come online, right? So now you have extra boost, right? So like there's a lot in the energy body that people don't understand. Like men don't know they have an auric penis. You see what I'm saying? So you might see somebody like Nicki or whoever else doing energy work on somebody, or he does tantra on women and stuff like that, and they'll go into orgasm. But they don't understand it's because he knows how to project that, and the auric penis is not bound by time and space, just like love is not bound by time and space. Memories aren't bound by time and space. It's like it's on a different dimension, so it acts by different physical laws, or laws of
Mhm.
physics, I guess, if you will, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we're just really on the low, on the physical cell body level. We're trying to line that back with your DNA blueprint. After that, am I going too long? Should I pass the mic?
No, keep
No, no, no,
going.
no, no. Please
No,
come on
keep
here.
No,
going. Come on
Hold on. This
now.
is
You know you can make
we're here for that. We have this because you see, this is the thing. I really think that you know these kind of conversations, especially help. I'm a man, right? So having this conversation with actually, you know what? with fellow women, you know, because a part of me is also women and female as well. So I embrace that. But and I think that it's not, you know, being that is, you know, I have this whole virility and this big. No, it's important to also educate brothers on the necessity to embrace that side of them without feeling like they're being emasculated or anything like that. Actually, if anything, it's adding to your masculinity.
Exactly.
Increasing the size of your, you know, if you want to consider the services and you know, treatments.
You know, like even if it's not like the physical thing,
of course,
interact with your partner better. You see what I'm saying? The fact you feel more in your body, like a lot of people don't realize how much of their genitals are numb. You see what I'm saying?
Genitals are numb.
Numb. Like a lot of people, at least half of their penis is numb, at least half of their vagina is numb. Right? That's why they can only receive pleasure in one way. If you weren't numb, you could feel things in a lot of different ways, right?
No, you know, hold on. But so okay, now this is a very powerful. No, hey, by the way, y'all can come in the conversation, please.
Don't mind me.
Nikki 1, Nikki 2, please jump in. Sorry, but no, this is this is powerful what you're saying, because on multiple occasions, me through my angel courses in my life, I've noticed that there was some of my partners were indeed not feeling anything, and you know, no matter the stimulation, the stimuli I was trying to, you know, come about with it, and I noticed a lot of the time it was tracing back to traumas they've had with previous partners.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, sister. Please. I'm sorry. I'm just mind blown by what you're saying.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So I mean, as you're just pointing on, like based off things in life, we put up walls to protect ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. So our body has memory, our cells have memory. So if that starts talking to you in your quiet time, like you'll notice a lot of people don't like to be by themselves. A lot of people don't like listening to their thoughts. So let's say that thought is bringing up a traumatic act. You're going to shut something down so it doesn't come back anymore, right? That's logical self-defense. So we do it so much that we don't really realize how desensitized we are to things, you know, and our physical body is one. Like a lot of people don't know when they're sick. You know, you should feel something a couple days or so before, you know, and if you have a really severe thing, you know, like you should feel that you're a little bit off. You might not be able to put your finger on it, but some people have no idea what's going on in their body. No idea what's going on in their home. No idea what their partner feels. No idea what the dog is doing. They just
stuck in one reality.
Yeah, and they're missing out on life.
Yeah. And those
sorry to interrupt. Sorry, let me welcome those who are jumping in the show. Ralphie Lopez, Sister Kiara, great to have you. Everyone else as well joining in. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you press the like. Make sure you follow the sisters as well. I've added their socials in the description section of the video. So show support, show love, and don't hesitate to ask questions. You know, you're also part of the conversation. Sister Nikki, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was supporting what oh my.
Adara was saying.
Adara. We had ceremony earlier, so I'm just grounded. But yes, supporting what Adara is saying. You know, think about when babies are born and you touch their toe, right? Mm-hmm. Their whole bodies can feel. Their whole body, like they shake because they can feel everything from touching a toe. And then as we start taking on the different patterns as we get older, you know, what your name is, how you use the bathroom, what you should feel shame about. And you start even picking up habitual identity aspects. And when your identity becomes habitual, then it's very easy to not even recognize some of your primordial feeling and how you're able to express and feel in all of the diverse ways that Adara is speaking to. And certainly, you know, so I hold these sessions where we also walk through our imaginations. And it's very interesting that the same way how we may self-pleasure the same way every single time, right? So your body develops a memory and a habit that says, this is how I receive pleasure. This is the way. Well, same thing when it comes to your imagination. Here it is that we're talking about, we want to manifest all these things. Meanwhile, you bound yourself to the same rules and the same blocks that are in your physical, in your imagination. And so if you're not able to tap into your own freedom of your own imagination, then certainly you're not going to be able to feel more. And our sexual energy bridges our imagination to our physical reality.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're able to cultivate that sexual energy, it's not just about feeling horny. It's not about just about, oh, I feel like I want, there's so many elements and so many nuances about our sexual energy that we don't even recognize. Including just in our Western way of thinking, when we speak about men and women for that matter, speaking to ejaculation and how ejaculation and orgasm, they are very different things. They're very different things, but we assume that they're the same. And
but please, Nikki, allow me to ask you, define that a bit more, because what you're saying is very foreign for a lot of people. So what do you mean by that? Because let's also remind people, it's very important, as I just did for Sister Adara, I must also do the same again here. You are a intimacy alchemist, which you will have to develop a little bit on that, because people need to understand what as alchemy, even though it's pretty obvious to me or to you guys, but what does alchemy has to do with intimacy. You're a sexologist and you're a touchless orgasm specialist. So please go ahead. What do you mean by these different orgasms? I mean, please define that, I beg.
Sure. So I will. Okay. So I'll start from the former. Intimate alchemist was a term that came to me that encompassed all of the aspects that I moved through, and in essence, intimacy with self allows us to have intimacy with everything, and to recognize that we have a body, we are not the body. That means that you need time to understand your body. You need time. There are many mistakes that we made, and the body needs time for its own reparation, even if your mind is ready to go. So having time and space to understand your body. And when you understand your body, you can understand your sensations. You can understand the energy that is moving through that body. And then you can start to recognize from intimacy with self, intimacy with the universe, intimacy with partnership, intimacy with all.
And intimacy doesn't always mean sexuality. We agree on that, right?
It doesn't have to be. Or if you want to expand your understanding of sexuality, so we can look at it either way. Because sex, when we say sex, many times there's this idea that sex starts when someone is penetrated. But if that was the case, then there are many people that experience sex that are not penetrated, right? And what sex actually is really just taking two components and being able to create, to procreate, to put together, right? So in essence, it can happen even on a cellular level when we understand sex. This right here, we're making love right here because I'm penetrating you with my words, right? And 100%. You are receiving them, right? So when we start to expand that, this intimacy of alchemy, it really helps us to understand the oneness and how we can navigate in that way. And when
sorry, I'm going to interject here. Sorry, sis. There's a lot of fuckboys that are using these science to do some fuck shit too, man. Let's be real.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of boys that are just like, man. I'm going to talk you through the shit, basically, I'm penetrating you with my words, We don't have to actually have sex. These are some players will try to use that though. That's the only thing that's like, how as a woman do you actually, get to, understand who is faking it and who's actually really about it?
Say that once more.
Can you please maybe give some hints? Because, a lot of people are very clueless when they meet. For example, for the first time, anybody who's going to watch this conversation for the first time will be blown the fuck away by what we're talking about. Well, by the way, you can curse on the show. It's not made for kids.
Okay,
so
good.
You can curse. You can be as real as you need to be. So my question is, how do you then develop even further more in details as detailed as possible to any women or men the kind of tactics or techniques that needs to be developed in order for you to understand if that person truly means well or just try to use you.
Yeah. So this is that conversation of having connection and intimacy with the body. The body offers wisdom beyond what our frontal lobes, which is where our identities lie, beyond our habitual identities. So you can say yes to something, but you might feel tension in your shoulders. You might be like, no, I have to do this, but you can feel like something's just not right in my stomach. This is a language. These bodies have a language. And so so there's something called manufactured consent or social coercion, where if we see media, if we see, okay, this is what's beauty on television, and look how, and they use the music to also assist, the music that makes us feel good, the colors that affect our minds and our bodies. And then you see this is beauty. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, wait, that's not what I look like. Right? So we have to allow the mind and the body to align. We have to allow that to align. So it does take time to trust yourself. And as we were discussing earlier, we are our sole authority. So if you feel like you're about to miss out on something, if you feel as though it's coming from a place of desperation and it's not coming from a place of my whole expansion of joy and my expression, if it's not coming from my expression, then it's something to be looked at. We don't need to act, but it's for the expression. And sometimes the act is allowing us to learn, and that's perfectly fine, and be forgiving with yourself when that happens. There is room for reparation in these bodies because we didn't know when we did it.
100%.
Yeah. But it's really understanding how these bodies work that are going to offer you that. Even decolonizing our emotions, there are things that we assume this is what it looks like, so I have to feel sad. I have to make sure I do this. Oh my goodness, there's so many women that they rush themselves. They're like, okay, well, maybe if I have to hurry up, my orgasm is taking too long. Let me hurry up. Baby, you don't have to hurry up.
Yeah. But is it a hurry up because then it might be too much of a challenge for the man, or if what because this is not the first time I'm hearing what you're saying, and I've noticed that there's a sense of urgency, and sometimes you hear or as of recently I've seen the buzz about DJ Envy and his wife talking about the fact that he has not been president for I don't know how many years and she's been pregnant. It seems like there's a lot of that going on in so many relationships, and for us as men, I think that this is especially if you're a man who really wants to please his woman, you and if the woman has not, due to previous relationship, not been given space to express herself as to what she likes or doesn't like, it can eventually, lead to her not actually voicing or just telling the man, look, I prefer this. And sometimes, as you said earlier, it's also a question of knowing your body and knowing yourself. And another thing that I'm hearing as well. So I'm muting the mic every once in a while because my Luna here barks a lot. So sorry about that. Okay. But I'm hearing also, just lost the train of thought. I was about to say, so orgasm, not pleasing.
Knowing our own bodies.
Knowing our own bodies, yes. A couple of, actually quite a few of my female friends are like, yeah, I don't masturbate. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But how do you do it? No, I take a shower. Okay, but you have no interaction with your body whatsoever. None. I'm not a specialist, so I don't know what to tell you, but okay. And they're like, no, I prefer the real thing. And I'm like, but you know the amount of energy you're about to share with anybody that's going to be entering your body and providing you with whatever sort of nonsense. I mean, you don't know who's entering you or vice versa. So wouldn't it be wise if you to do it? I mean, I don't know. What is your take on that? Because it seems like there's a lot of preconceived ideas, or there's also a sense of like no connection with genitalia whatsoever, and maybe one of the ways could be through the touchless orgasm or some of these approaches that might maybe pacify the relationship from that one has with her body or his body. Go ahead. No, please. It's a conversation, girls. Like, yo, ladies, please. This is open mic. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I mean, like you said, you'd be surprised how many people don't look at themselves in the mirror. But a lot of people don't have mirrors in their rooms. You know, they don't look at their bodies whatsoever. They're doing their best to disconnect, like you said, right? Because they believe that they're ugly, as if beauty comes from anybody else other than you, right? They think that sex is a tool, right? Like I always ask people why they have sex. You know, like why do you have sex? Some people do it for power. Some people do it to show love. Some people do it because I have to just keep them around. You know, like all of these different things. So people never really have the conversation of what does sex mean to you? What is sex to you? Like same thing with the relationship. What is your idea of marriage? What is your idea of this? What is your idea of that? Right? Then they just get into it. Like I kind of like you, so I don't want to be alone. So come on, right? So let me just do this little bit to get by. And you just, satisfy my things, right? So I would suggest that women and men explore themselves, right? Explore themselves, explore what they think they know about themselves. I always say that there's not a thought that you have or belief that you have that you should not be willing to let go of, right? If you get better information, you should be willing to change your thoughts. If not, you have an unhealthy relationship with it. Same thing with how you feel about your body. Like you won't turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. Like, what are you afraid of? He might like your stretch marks. I'm hearing this in style now. Nobody.
Very correct. For many years, I used to have sex with the lights off. For many years, I used to not want the lights on. I don't know what difference would it make anyway, because at some point, whatever you don't want to be. I mean, it was silly, but yeah.
Something, yeah.
Very interesting. Sorry about the noise, but yeah, it's very interesting. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Like we hide from ourselves, we hide from our partners, right? A lot of women don't want to find out what turns them on. They don't want to. Some people don't like to be touched. Period. Like where does that come from? A bunch of places. But if the person never really told you that they don't like to be touched, and you're trying to like love them for real, like what I'm saying, have a bad reference for R. Kelly evening. But in a good way, the good kind, not the creepy kind. The good kind.
I feel you. You don't want nobody peeing on you though, but I mean, that's the thing, but whatever.
That's your thing, No
Some
cages.
people like that kind of thing, I don't, it's
as long
as it's a choice.
Yes.
Yes.
One man's freak is another man's geek, or one person's freak is another, or don't yuck anybody's yum.
Yeah, don't yuck my yummy. Yeah, so a lot of times, like, okay, so men say things that they don't realize they're saying, and we listen a lot. So we'll listen to how you talk about like people on TV or whatever else, or this girl you see in the street, or this chick you went to high school with, she did this. That means she's a hoe. And we're like, oh, okay, well, I kind of slick like doing that too. I'm not going to tell you that. So I need you to see me this certain type of way. So she doesn't want to express herself fully, because a lot of men think that they're like the freaky one in a relationship. Come to find out, and then you're like, oh, I didn't know this was who you were. And now,
That's right.
Yeah. So it's a number of things. So I say, ladies, just don't be afraid of yourself. Like if you're grown and you pay your own bills and, you have some kind of sovereignty, your sovereignty starts here. Take this first. You can't take your outside situation. You can always grab your joy, always your pleasure, always gratitude, always, and not stop being dictated by all this stuff around you. And just let a man give to you, a woman give to you, whatever you're into.